G'day guys, Solana and Solana versus Bitcoin, and I've got three charts here: Solana on a non-logarithmic chart, Solana on a logarithmic chart, and Solana versus Bitcoin. They all look bullish at this point. Now the problem or the challenge is this is the trend line. So we have a trend line from the non-logarithmic. We have this, and it's looking to break out. The only holding thing is holding it back is this moving average and this trend line, prevailing trend line, just there. And if it breaks out, it can go down a bit, but then we still have it. So we're looking for this breakout, and then it's going to be a strong move. So from that perspective, this is looking good. Now let's look at the next chart, which is this one here, and let's move that chart to a bigger one. Move it across, and let's just move this. So now this one is a logarithmic chart, and you can see that it's still got much work to do. Not too much, but this is more prevalent of resistance trend line. Beautiful. And I've got the two layers, so it's approaching the first layer. This is, we want to see it close above it and then potentially break out. We have this formidable resistance level, so we can go to this level before we find a rejection and then potentially go up. So we have a lot of things going good for Solana. We have this left shoulder, what presumably looks like a complex head, and potentially a right shoulder. So if this pulls back, which it can, still not to worry. We might have this is the bull scenario obviously, but this is looking good. Okay, so that's that. Long term wise, until we break this level, we haven't got anything really, but it has a lot going for it. The other aspect to this is if we look at it from a Wyckoff, or sorry, elite wave, that could be our A, there's our B, and yep, we've got double top, that's a C, and if it breaks out, we can have a D and then our E. So we also have this rising triangle. We have this prevailing trend line. We might just ignore that wick and just do that. The negative or the bearish component is that we come down. That is the bearish scenario, but at the moment we're not looking at that. We just want this confirmation that it breaks, attempts that, gets a bit of a rejection, and then we watch what happens. This moving, if it could close on the daily above this, then it's got a lot going for it. If I would say the entry is on this breakout. However, at times these do become fake outs, and this is where our fake out's likely to occur. Let's put our Fibonacci. We'll put it there with the previous. So this level can be still resistance with the 618. So yes, it's looking bullish. So we have this resistance level. Just go through it. That's one level there, and it makes sense. Let's make this bigger. And then where is a Fibonacci? We can put the Fibonacci here. Then we have the other 618 over there. So we've got a number of levels that we want to watch. That's our 618 there. And then we finally move this to here, and then we have this level, potentially 618 as well. So you can see where my resistance is, and I've defined all those resistance levels. And then let's just remove that for a sec, and these are the levels that we visually can see as resistance, as well as we have confirmed with Fibonacci. So are we going past this yet? Not yet. On a smaller time frame, it could wick, but it's no breakout. However, when we look at this level, see where we had support and resistance, it did behave for it, and it's looking good. That was an entry. Has it got the momentum to go? Well, this was a Wyckoff, a Gantley formation on the small time frame, and we hit our resistance, which was there. That was the target for the Gantley, right there. So that is our resistance, and we've gone above it. Can we close above it? That's the question. So that's looking positive. However, we've still got much to do on the daily. Let's look on the 4 hour. Yes, 4 hours looking good as well. There we go. As you can see, this level, we have a number of levels of resistance. Now that's from the logarithmic chart, and the non-logarithmic, let's just do this. Have a closer look. Very similar to the logarithmic in terms of strategy. Now let's look at Bitcoin pairing. Bitcoin pairing is probably more attractive. Let's see how we go. So on a big time frame, I've got my Fibonacci laid out. We've got these moving averages. So let's just, that's a trend line that we can probably ignore for the time being. The 382 is our immediate resistance. So the 382, if we can close above it, then we've got this moving average, which is the 50 SMA. So I don't think that's a big one. It's played its role in the past. However, we are looking at the main level over here, which is as Satoshi, whatever that is. So we're looking for, very similar to the alts actually, where they found resistance here. A lot of the alts have got a similar structure, so you can look at that. And here, so I think we'll get there with this breakout. We'll get to this level, and then we'll get a pullback. So we'll get there, get a pullback, another consolidation, and then look to try to get past that. And once we break these moving averages that are coming down, that's when we go off. And you can see from that perspective a trend line of some sort. You can see that trend line coming into play. So we want to break past that. The trend lines usually follow moving averages of some sort. So let's get rid of those for a sec and you'll see. There we go. Not there yet. You can argue that this is some type of wedge, and we've dipped below it. There's that small possibility that we hit that level, come back down, and then move up. So that is a target for now, and then come back. If we look at it on a small time frame, let's see the Elliott wave count. Where is it? There it is. So it looks bullish on the 4 hour. And where is the Elliott wave count? That one there. No, that's not what I wanted. Sometimes it doesn't work the way you want it. Actually, let's see if that's the case. Inverted. Yeah, it's looking bearish for some reason. We'll need to go on a smaller time frame then. And now let's see if it does the job. No, it thinks it wants to go down. Well, this is possible as well. And if you look at it, that's the level, and this is the liquidity. So that's very possible, but I just don't see that happening. I still feel like this is going to go to that level first. Breakout. Let's do it another way. Sometimes you've got to massage these charts. The replay could initiate the script to count the Elliott wave properly. So if it goes up, it's still thinking it's wave 4 to 5. Okay. So I've added moving averages, 10, 20, and 50 moving average, or 13 as well. And this is looking bullish. We've got the crossover of the moving averages. They're still not crossed over, so momentum's at upside. We're seeing this breakout, and it's looking good. So I would enter with Bitcoin for sure. I have, and my stop losses are below this level, so it's a bit of a distance. It seems to be a breaking up of a triangle or widening wedge. So either way, they both look bullish. In terms of elliott wave count, it's a hard one. The wick's there, so if that's a 1, that's a 2, 3, 4, and then potentially more on a small time frame. So I do see this breaking up to the high. This was a ABC correction, and yeah, this is just beginning. Looking bullish from a Bitcoin perspective. And let's look. Finally, no movement there. Actually, a bit of a movement there. $20.32, and that is a nice arcade. It's broken above the moving average. This one here. Nice. No, I didn't get the right one. It's this one here. Let's just, why is it? Let's just get it thick there. I'll make it non-blue. Let's make it a color that we know. Here we go. So it's broken above it, and the trend line, so it's going. Now we're going to have some resistance, like I said, from a number of perspectives. If it gets past this trend line, then we've got the next trend line up there, and then potentially a pullback. Everything's looking good. I'm going to post this as soon as I can. Please give me a like and share. Talk to you soon. Cheers.